Okay, all right, guys. Welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And
Just when you think you've reached peak stupidity.
We're trying to wrap our heads around the Potato Head situation. Mr. Potato Head is offensive. It's offensive to call them Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. Now Potato Head is just going to be called Potato Head. Hasbro is going to make Potato Head gender neutral, as you can see from this promotional artwork with two potato dads. Can we say that anymore, dads?
Honestly, but it already was gender neutral because you just had a potato with parts that you could do whatever you want. And you know, some women out there have mustaches. I'm just saying.
Whoa, spicy. But we got the two potato dads and the baby, which looks like a yam. So I take it the baby's adopted? Is it a yamling?
I don't know.
I can't call it a boy or girl yam. It's a yamling.
I wasn't kidding about the mustaches. Some women actually have mustaches and you shave them. So
yes, I know. I've seen them.
Yeah. So you just gonna thought it was something else.
I'm just gonna bypass that. So we're gonna talk about the Potato Head situation, and I am wondering aloud about Hasbro because last couple of months we've seen Hasbro made some, they made some decisions. It's they got the Potato Head situation. We had the My Little Pony situation that the word on the street is the new My Little Pony series will feature an activist as the lead.
Because that's what everybody's been clamoring for.
Right. They announced today that the first G.I. Joe live action series was going to feature Lady J, not even Scarlet.
I know. That's what I was mad about. But you know what? If it was Scarlet, you know what happened to her.
She's a ginger. That
the same thing I think is going to happen to Lady J.
Yes.
I am betting money on it. I'm putting money down on that.
Okay, put your money down.
To you, not to the audience.
And we saw what happened with the Gina Carano figures almost immediately. They stopped producing them. Now, that could have been a Lucasfilm thing. But I am kind of wondering if Hasbro is going down the same path that Mattel went down a few years ago that led them to financial ruin, where they were trying to be the activist toy company. And it didn't work out very well for them. Now,
at the end of the day, it's just a potato head toy.
It's just a plastic potato.
And it used to be General Potato Head, Mr. Potato. But it used to be that you get parts of boys and girls. It wasn't a big deal. But it's always been Mr. Potato Head, hasn't it? It just was.
Yes, it's always okay. So we're gonna get into my understanding of the history of Mr. Potato Head, and then we're gonna talk about the future of potato persons. Of the potato peoples.
Well, you can't say potato people because that's potatoist.
Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 179,000, I think. Subs, almost 180,000. Thank you for the support. And I gotta wonder, and I was telling you this before I pulled this up, I gotta wonder how long until Disney Plus puts a content warning on Toy Story because
Potato Head.
We can't have Potato Head. What are they going to do What are they going to do in Midway Mania? They have a talking Mr. Potato Head with Don Rickles. What are they going to do?
It's not Potato Head.
It's just Potato Head.
But all their toys that are branded Mr. Potato Head are going to be changed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And there are many references to Mr. Potato Head throughout Toy Story Land.
I can't even. I'm like, wait. Your win against gendering things is Mr. Potato Head.
I
can't.
It is a huge win because according to Matt Walsh on Twitter, I told my 7-year-old daughter that Mr. Potato Head is gender neutral now. She smiled and said, "This is the greatest day of my life. Finally, I can be at peace." We hugged and I started sobbing. It was so beautiful.
Wait, what?
This can't be real.
The comments.
Is this real?
I don't know. A lot of people were making.
This can't be real.
We're making jokes about it.
That's not real. This can't be real.
There were people
no
making jokes, but it was funny. People were getting mad. They were talking about it on a Disney thing, and people on there were like, "This is stupid." And if everybody that said this is stupid, there was there was one idiot that would be like, "Yeah, get salty and season those potatoes with your salty tear." I'm like, you do know, right? For them to change in the first place, a bunch of people had to go bitching and complaining about something so stupid to begin with. Who's the salty, stupid person?
Bunch of bitch biscuits had to go.
I kick fat bitch biscuit.
Bitch biscuits Yeah, you sent this. This is funny. This is funny.
It is funny.
California's banning all words with the prefix man in them, so this is now called a bitch biscuit. There we go. So some bitch biscuits decided they were going to drop the...
I wear buns all the time, to be fair. So I guess it's technically a bitch biscuit.
Well, you know when you get in a mood sometimes.
That's right.
She will burn your biscuits with her bitchiness.
That's right.
All right, so this is coming from the Huffington Post, who probably loves it. Hasbro, the company that makes a potato-shaped plastic toy, is giving the Spud a gender-neutral new name, Potato Head.
I can't.
The change will appear on boxes this year. There's the potato family with their potato yamling. Their yamling. Toy makers have been updating their classic brands to appeal to kids today. Barbie has shed its blonde image, now comes in multiple skin tones and body shapes.
Whoa. Correction here, Huffington Post. Barbie has come in many skin tones for decades. The body shapes has been relatively new, but even then, that's still like 10 years old. The different skin tones, that's been around for a long time. I know when I was a kid, and they had different ethnicities of Barbie. And I actually liked a lot of the ones that weren't the plain Barbie, but they had different ones, and sometimes they were called Barbie, and sometimes they were one of her friends. But they've been making the dolls with different skin tones for decades. So you're wrong on that one.
So here's the thing, and I brought up Mattel before. Mattel did create more inclusive Barbie dolls, lots of different sizes, shapes, colors, genders of Barbies. And most of them go to the clearance aisle.
That is true. I was going to say that.
And this isn't a slap against, Mattel. Well, okay, maybe it is. For trying to appeal to everybody. But those dolls are so specialized that the demand for specialized Barbie dolls like that are going to be statistically very small. Mm-hmm. The Barbies that still sell are still the same blonde Barbie doing different things.
No, that's not just blonde Barbie. I mean, they'll have different. This is a Barbie that still sell. They just don't want the different body shapes and stuff like that. They just don't seem to like that.
Yeah. So Mattel went down this road, and they started. You could see a correlation between Mattel's hemorrhaging of money. I think, and them experimenting with this kind of stuff. And then they we talked about Monster High before, how they tried to age it down because it was too scary and too gothy, and we couldn't have that. And Mattel, then what do? They turn around and they do She-Ra, which was supposed to sell toys. They didn't sell any damn toys.
They mentioned the American Girl boy dolls. They are selling boy dolls now, but they've been for a little while. They had one in the first line with the Tenny Grant. Yeah. They had the boy doll there, and the reason they did that was because a lot of girls were asking for the boy doll because they wanted a boy doll for a brother or whatever for their other doll, and people were customizing and making boy versions. That's been going on for years as well. That's nothing new either. I mean, in the last several years.
So this is part of the show, a picture of it in this other article here. This is the Create Your Own Potato Head Family Kit with 2 potato parents and a potato baby, a yamling. That's what I'm calling it.
It looks like a yam to me, I have to admit. Yeah. Somebody was cheating on somebody.
Yeah, right. I'm telling you, the yam is adopted.
Clearly.
The video announcing the kit said it was for modern families and featured a variety of family makeup, including same-sex potato parents.
What? No, I don't see.
That's not a problem. I'm just, it's, look, we're going to talk about the history of Mr. Potato Head. And I don't think it's a problem to call Mr. Potato Head Mr. Potato Head.
The brand was Mr. Potato Head. It's not a big deal. You could always make whatever you wanted with Mr. Potato Head. They always give you lots of parts. They've had many Mr. Potato Head iterations. They've had Darth Vader Mr. Potato Head. They've had different characters from different TV shows and movies Mr. Potato Head. They've had Mrs. Potato Head. They had Potato Head kids. They had potato heads all over the damn place, and no one cared.
So here's the official statement from Hasbro. Hasbro is making sure all feel welcome in the Potato Head world by officially dropping the Mr. from the Mr. Potato Head brand name and logo to promote gender equality and inclusion. The name change will come with a fresh branding look, along with a whimsical color palette and more inclusive messaging, along with new product to appeal to the modern consumer.
Well, according to them, the only modern people, a modern family, modern consumer, basically to appeal to far left Twitter.
Portland.
That's what it sounds like.
Dropping the Mr. from its name could encourage other companies not to assign genders to toys. A trend that has already been happening, said this person talking about these things. Barbie maker Mattel released a gender-neutral
it didn't do well.
It bombed. I'm sorry. They have the gender-neutral Barbie line. They had the diverse Barbie line. And about the same time they came out with these toys, Mattel started having financial problems. Major financial problems.
Look, I don't care if they do like gender neutral things and they had gender neutral potato head series, whatever. That's fine. I don't care. Fine. I understand you want to reach a more market. It makes sense, business from a business standpoint. But you don't have to change everything to appeal to one tiny percentage of people that might, buy that. Just make a potato head. That could be whatever you want it to be. No big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, what's next? Okay, we're gonna start. Okay, Mr. Clean, Mr. Plumber, Mr. Pibb. That's Coke.
Oh my God,
at least with
Coke.
Dr. Pepper. Doctor can be male or female. Mrs. Smith's, Mrs. Paul's, Mrs. Fields. You're all effed. You need to all change it. It's become Clean, Plumber, Pibb, Smith, Paul, Fields. Mrs. Butterworth they already got rid of.
Yeah, Mrs. Butterworth got caught up in the backlash against black folks.
Even though she wasn't black.
She's not black. She's just filled with syrup.
She was a clear bottle filled with syrup.
She's a diabetic grandma.
Ms. Pac-Man is a problem for two reasons. You have Ms. in there and you have man in there. So, that you're screwed both ways.
I don't even.
This is the stupidest thing ever. This whole, you can't use, gender specific, words and stuff, is great because I'm sure Kamala Harris loves to know that she is just a vice president because she's no longer going to be the first female vice president because you're not allowed to use the term female.
Yeah, there you go.
How do they gender it?
So here's a little history, somewhat of a history lesson with Mr. Potato Head. Yes, Mr. Potato Head started out as a way for children to use their parents' leftover potatoes for play. Because every kid loves to play with potatoes.
Somebody did. That's where it came from.
So they got a kit with parts that you would actually make a potato head out of actual parts. Then they moved on to the plastic potato. This is actually the first one I think I had was this Mr. Potato Head. And then right after that, they put arms on him. And I was mad because I got one. I was very, very little. I was like 2 or 3. And I remember getting him for my birthday. But he came with parts for both. He actually came with I remember this. He came with a purse. And so, Mr. Potato Head was ahead of the curve back then. But it was still Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Man. And, back then, it didn't really dawn on me. It was just like, I can make a potato man or a potato woman, whatever. And then Mr. Potato Head got arms. That was the 80s, mid-80s.
It would make more sense to have a potato with all the parts you wanted, and you could do whatever you want with it because, then you're not excluding anyone. But, but no, that which is what they've done for decades on a lot of these. But no, because it has the word Mr. on the box.
It's the problem. It's problematic. Now, my favorite potato head, anything, and I had a bunch of these when I was a kid, and I freaking loved them. Potato Head Kids.
I like the little pirate.
There were no yams in the Potato Head Kids, but I love the Potato Head Kids.
Well, you're just being yam exclusionary.
I was, but I freaking love these little bastards, and they're expensive now. You try buying those on eBay, they're expensive.
They remind me of the nuggets, the chicken nuggets.
They were kind of, and then they disappeared. They had all these Potato Head Kids. And then they just all kind of disappeared. Yeah, look, the clubhouse is $119. They go for a lot.
So we have 70 years of Mr. Potato Head.
Yes.
But because of some people whining, and honestly, does anybody really complain about this, honestly?
No.
I mean, I would be very hard-pressed to find more than a handful of people bitching about it to Hasbro to begin with. They're just trying to preempt. I think they're just trying to get attention. I think the whole thing is for attention. Don't forget about us. Well, now you're just pissing people off. So you're better just if you changed the potato head, took the Mr. off, not said anything, or if you just fine, just make Mr. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato Head, just Potato Head. Problem would have been solved. Anybody could have chose what they wanted. You could have had all markets covered.
Yeah, but it's when these companies go out of their way to virtue signal to be look how progressive we are. We're gonna put out a big PR statement. And that's usually when there's blowback because the people that you're appealing to, a lot of times, it's never enough. It's never enough. They're going to find a reason. Why is it 2 dads and not 2 moms?
No, they're mad about that next.
Why?
There might have been a picture of 2 moms. Who the hell knows?
Why is this yam orange?
Why? Well, that makes the yam a ginger, and we know that should not be allowed.
But there are red potatoes. There are brown potatoes.
Well, potatoes are brown, so obviously it's a stand-in for black people.
It could be, yeah.
Clearly, that's what this is about.
So they'll find something problematic. You watch Hasbro. You play with fire. You play with these people. Play with these people. Don't. That didn't come out right. Anyway, look, you try to cater this crowd in time and time again. It backfires usually, and they don't buy anything. And then you wind up losing your hardcore customer base because still at the end of the day, I mean, I understand why they're trying to be more inclusive. I get that, just don't make potato heads, exclusionary. Just like you said, quietly, just, roll out some changes, whatever. But, you're basically broadcasting to middle America that, hey, don't buy this for your kids anymore because we're going to inject politics into potatoes.
You're literally injecting politics into Mr. Potato Head. That's what they have done.
Yeah.
Because you can't have fun with anything. Everything has to have politics in it. And if it's not that, then they go after places like France or the Spanish language or French language or whatever for having, using gendered words which they have forever. How very dare they? It's like, really?
Mr. Potato Head, the next Toy Story. Who was actually offended by Mr. Potato Head being male? This is ridiculous.
I mean, personally, I'm not going to buy Mr. Potato Head or Potato Head or whatever the hell it is anyway.
No.
Because, our kids don't even care about that shit anymore.
It's a plastic potato. It's just like, I think what gets me is...
Come on, it's a potato.
Why is this offensive in the first place? Just have a potato. You can just have a potato family. You can still have Mr. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato Head, and then have your potato family parts kit. And do whatever the hell you want to do.
That's what I don't understand.
Have generic potato head. You got.
Why can't? Yeah, you can have Mr. Mrs. Then you can have a kit that's you
just
can do whatever.
Make your own. Make your own mashed potato family. Whatever you want to do. Where are the mashed potatoes? Where are the French fries?
Not allowed. That's no. How dare you?
I just look again. It's the virtue signaling that gets me. Just this has got backfire.
Well, I think it's hilarious from the same place that insisted on pronouns. Now you're not even have those. So it's just funny. Yeah, like Mr. Potato Head's already woke. You could do that. That's what I'm saying. Like the kit I had, again, we're talking early 80s. It came with all the parts. You can do either.
I had that dress and
everything. It was
everything.
a damn potato and it had boy parts and girl parts, so it applied to everyone.
Yeah, here's Super Mr. Potato Head with lips and a purse.
But at the end of the day, there's no genitals on it, so it doesn't matter.
Her original nose, her new nose.
I'm just saying. It doesn't matter. It was already non-gendered.
There's the gendering right there.
Well, you see a doctor.
There we go. Right there. And but no, this is one I had actually, because I had all these parts. I remember all these parts.
I can't think that there was this huge push to take Mr. out and name Mr. Potato Head. And now it worked with exactly what they wanted because they wanted attention. That's exactly what they got.
And they're not gonna get the right kind of attention.
I'm like, most people don't even care. I'm
Nobody
like, it always came with all the parts. Or you could buy a Mrs. Potato Head, or you could buy, kits. It didn't matter. It just didn't matter. God.
You know what? Somebody is gonna do some snooping, and they're gonna find out that they didn't do this to be woke. They did it because they lost the trademark to Mr. Potato Head or some stupid shit like that. They
better not hold on to the trademark because they're no longer using it, and after so long, they can't keep it. So somebody else can swoop in and get Mr. Potato Head.
So there you go. Some other toy company could make Mr. Well, probably not because it's in the same way. Mr. Potato Person.
There wasn't a huge demand for this toy anyway.
No, not
actually. The demand went up because of Toy Story.
Toy Story, and now,
like you said, you're waiting for this. You have to rebrand all their boxes. I'm sure Disney's gonna love that.
Well, there you go. That's gonna be the next content warning on Disney Plus is going to be Toy Story because of Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. It's very offensive. Very offensive.
I'm just like, where does it end? Like, you can't have any toy then. You can't have dolls because they're gendered. You can't have action figures because they're gendered. You can't have, next thing you can't have cars because, they're gendered somehow because of the Cars movie or whatever. It's just stupid. It's just, I can't even. But I love the irony of we're going to cancel people because they don't put pronouns in their bio, but not having the pronouns in your bio should get you canceled because you're not supposed to use those kind of things. You're not supposed to gender things.
I give up.
Just let them scream into the void until they go bankrupt with stupidity, all of them, because it's just like it's not a big deal. I mean, it's not a big deal either way. I mean, changing it to potato head isn't a big deal either, if you're being honest.
No, but putting out a big statement and being like, we're doing this to show how inclusive we are at Hasbro. It's like, just do it and don't.
Just make it potato head and say we're just. And all you do is say we wanted to do it so that we
nobody felt left out. Here's
Mr.
a potato
Head, Mrs. Potato Head, or just plain potato head. You can pick what you want. All you had to do. You're just doing it for attention. You're doing it to get attention, and you're not going to get the attention that you wanted to. But I mean, calling it potato head is no big deal either. It's just that I just don't understand who was asking for it to be changed.
Nobody asked for this. This is the same Hasbro that 2 years ago gave us Monopoly for millennials and Monopoly for socialists. And now they put out a big statement. So there had to have been a changing of the guards. Again, there had to have been a changing of the guards.
And when you look at them globally, what percent globally are going to be people who are like, oh, thank God, because I'm non-binary and I want that. I mean, and
I identify as a potato.
I think the weirdest thing to me is that some people are so, needing to be represented that they feel like they are incomplete and they're not seen unless there's a potato that's like they are. A potato. And at that percentage, how many people were actually buying this in the first place? And of that percentage, how many people have kids that would be buying this?
Nobody cares. They don't.
No, exactly.
We're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
All right. Please subscribe for more stupidity. Pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.